Okay, so now we're going to be talking about digital logic. So, what is the meaning of digital logic? Well, compared to what we might perceive as analog, digital logic is dealing with only two numbers, 0 and 1. We call these we call this number system binary, meaning 2, of course. Um, and within this, we're able to kind of dive into, and maybe perhaps understand how a computer kind of behaves at a fundamental level. So from here, we're able to see many things about it. So it's like if we were to say something like this or this, we can represent this in kind of like a digital logic format. It's like, do you mean to say this as a zero, or do you mean this? And so that's kind of the idea of digital logic. Now, digital logic within itself is a very, very broad and diverse topic. Previously, we you might have talked about number systems. We you talked about decimal, you talked about hexadecimal, and you talked about binary. And certainly, these are the main parts of digital logic that we would want to care about. We also will talk about maybe how to represent digital logic using what's called logic gates, as well as just to talk about more about how we do analysis of digital logic. But for now, the whole concept of digital logic is looking at everything in the scope of what the computer understands, which is only just zero and ones. And actually, just to kind of show you, most things are kind of 64 bits now, meaning that out of all this, you have 64. So I'm going to write a bunch of numbers, and there's 64 of them. So, but so we when it comes to digital logic, we talk about everything in the scope of bits. A bit is just any kind of value that could be 0 or 1. When we're talking about kind of discussing a way to digitally represent something, we call that Boolean logic specifically. So within the next couple of videos, we'll talk about how to do analysis with Boolean. We'll talk about how to do analysis with logic gates. And we'll also talk about just how to simplify using something called Carnot maps or K maps. Okay, thank you.